What up, my people? Welcome back to the channel. It's the Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you with another video. And today we're diving into Apple TV's latest episode of the mind-bending sci-fi extravaganza, Invasion. Season 2 has finally arrived, and episode 1 definitely dropped some major bombs on us. But before we jump into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell so you can never miss out on our weekly breakdowns and live streams. With that being said, let's jump right to it. Alright, episode 1 of Invasion's second season picks up a little bit later than where we left off in the first season. And I'd say that they definitely did crank up the tension in this show. I know a lot of people from the first season said that there wasn't enough action for them, but in this season we start off with a bang. The alien invasion has been going on for some time now, and mankind has not fared well. In fact, the aliens have terraformed the oxygen in this planet so that it affects humans, making it poisonous to them and not to the alien invaders. We catch up with Mitsuki, and she is running basically some type of guerrilla ops right now. And we see from when she's out here saving the people and these aliens are attacking that they can be killed by fire, which to me makes it seem like they shouldn't be as big of a threat as they're putting on if they can be killed by fire. Get me some flamethrowers out there and let's take out some of these aliens if we can. After she successfully defends her people heroically, a helicopter lands and she is bagged up by the people inside of this helicopter. While in the helicopter, they explain to her that they've been looking for her for a while. They've tracked her whereabouts, but she's always managed to sneak away. And it's not about saving the couple of people that she's saving here. They want her to save 1 billion people, just about the whole planet, and they fly off. We then catch up with Anisha and the kids, and it seems like they have fallen on some really hard times. They are now scheming their way to get the things that they need. And once again, during this whole thing, the little girl, she is solid. She's an actor. She plays her role. But Luke, I don't like Luke. I know he's a kid, but Luke is a bonehead. He always does some type of reckless abandon that always messes up the plan. And as we see, they are in there scheming, trying to get the gasoline for the car so they can get out and a few supplies. But Luke is greedy, and he's got to be in there trying to grab more than he's supposed to grab. That being said, when the guy catches on to him, luckily they have the door locked, and they are able to speed up out of there and get away just in the nick of time. But she had a set of rules that they are only supposed to be in there for a couple of seconds, but this dude just refuses to listen to the rules. Mitsuki is then flown over Amazon by Brazil, and that's where we see the downed spaceship that they shot down last season with the nuclear weapons that her lover was on, most likely, and killed. I'll get more into that a little bit later in the theories part of the video, and I'll tell you exactly what I think is going on there. But she is brought back to the home base of a billionaire tycoon. I think he's kind of like Elon Musk, who is basically the one who is funding this whole operation in order for them to try to figure out exactly what's going on inside of this ship. We are then introduced to Nikhil. Again, he is playing an Elon Musk type role, just someone who happens to be most likely the most powerful, richest person on the planet at this time, and it's his job to figure out by his means what's going on inside of this downed alien craft. And if they can figure this out, maybe it's a source for them to defeat the aliens. And because she has a connection to it, that's why they want her in it. We then get Anisha having a hard time parenting these kids. Not the daughter, once again, boneheaded Luke. Luke, just listen. I don't understand why Luke will not listen to his mother. Yet she's trying to explain to him that because of his actions, that people could be looking for them, so they have no choice but to leave the place that they're at. He does not want to go. He puts up a big fuss. He wants to stay there by himself. And she's like, I'm trying to prepare you in case something bad happens to me. And it's up to you to take care of your sister. They then take us back to Mitsuki, and it's basically these are the characters that we get for this opening episode. We don't get a lot of our other boys that are in there, but we do get them. It seems to focus around them. I'm sure the other characters will be in the next episode, but she's being ran through some psychological tests that she doesn't want to really go through, and they're probing her mind, asking her questions. Who was your first love? If you had the chance to save your love or a baby, which would you do? If you had the chance to save your love or a bunch of other people, what would you do? She doesn't understand exactly why they're doing this. She thinks that they're just prying into her, being nosy, but they are doing this for a reason, and we do find that out later. Yet while the tests are going on, it just seems like they're prying for information. It's actually giving her some bad flashbacks, giving her some post-traumatic situation that she doesn't want any part of at this particular time. So she takes off the probes to her mind, and then that is when she walks out of the room, not fully understanding exactly what's going on once she sees pictures of the love of her life, who we are led to believe died when they did the nuclear attack on the ship. Again, I have some theories about that, and I will get into that at the end of the video when we start talking theories about exactly what is going on in this show. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video so you can hear all my thoughts. After this, we see Anisha back on the road with the kids, trying to find a new place to live, trying to get supplies, just trying to get by. And once again, we gotta deal with Luke. Luke again! He just does not listen. Now listen, I understand his father passed away, and he's trying to be the man, but they run into a military caravan, and she sees that there are some supplies on there. His sister smartly tries to tell him, leave this one alone, let's just play I Spy in the car, but no, Luke has to get out and go inside of this military vehicle, trying to steal gasoline. Now, they just filled up from all we know. We don't know exactly how long they've been on the road, but we can assume that they still have a good amount of gas in the car, but he decides, let me go out there and get some gasoline. Let me go out there and try to steal from the government. And we do see the first signs of the M symbol, which is a group of freedom fighters, I guess, for lack of a better term, that is trying to fight the same war, but for some reason, they have beef with the government. We don't know exactly why they have beef with the government and why they're all not working together at this particular time, but it seems like their agendas are aligned, but for some reason, they just cannot get along. That being said, we do see Luke get bagged up, and because Luke gets bagged up, we see his mother try to save her, and then she gets bagged up. They see that she has some type of weapons on her, and that's when they decide to search the car. And once they search the car, they find the piece of metal shard that she used to kill one of these aliens in the first season. And after that, they look up her name and said they have been searching for her, and throw her and her kids inside of the truck, preparing to take them to a military base. We see the doctor giving a medical assessment on Mitsuki, and she failed everything. Not one thing did she pass in this test. She failed everything. Responds too quick to the answers. Everything, that it's just a risk to put her in here. But he explains to her everything that she went through and truly what he wants her to do. He wants her to go inside of this ship, and by going inside, figure out exactly what's going on inside this ship and how they can use this ship to take down these aliens, which she agrees to do. But the people who have gone inside the ship, gone inside this one special chamber, and that's where they're trying to get to, because there's a hidden power source, a power source that they don't understand, that they want access to. But in order to get to this power source, they have to go through a person that they call her, the mother, and they need her to get through it. While they are traveling back to the military base, we then see a girl laid out on the road who looks like she's in trouble, but it turns out that it was all just a ploy, and the person that Anisha was hanging out with was one of the leaders of this militia group and sets them all free. Mitsuki then agrees to go inside and try to figure out exactly what's going on in this alien craft. She suits up in her suit and she goes inside, and it seems that it has a special connection with her more than anybody else and reacts to her in a certain way that it's never reacted to anybody before. And that is the reason why they wanted her there. They felt like it could be a situation because she's the only one who communicated with this creature, whatever it is, or alien species before, and they figured that somehow she does have a connection to it. I think I know what that connection is, but I'm going to tell you that when I'm done with this recap at the end of the video. They then take Anisha and the kids back to their secret lair. Oh, that's best to say it like that, right? What else are we going to call it? But they don't say exactly why these people are fighting the government. I think we're going to get more of that in the next episode when we deal with them and see exactly why they're not working with the government, but they're fighting with the government. After that, we go back, and it seems to manifest itself as some type of crack in a dimension, some type of time portal or something. But when Mitsuki goes inside of this place, it does react to her. In fact, it starts to come alive in the way that we've never seen it come alive before, according to the people in the show. And then, the closer she gets, it starts playing the David Bowie song that her and her girlfriend played together. So therefore, it is connected to her and reacts to her in such a way that they have no idea exactly what's going on or what the connection is, but they're very excited that it does connect to her in this way. Anisha is finding out what's going on in her new home with the refugees, holding on to the piece of metal that she used to kill one of those creatures close to a vest and not telling anybody about it. And then we end with the doctors inside of the hospital, and there's some type of neurological discovery that they're finding on a patient, and it turns out the patient is Casper, and we think that we're going to see more of him in the upcoming season. And that is where this episode ends. Well, if you're a fan of this show and has been watching from season 1, you know that this show loves to mess with our emotion. Well, this season, they are doing it again. We're seeing all of our beloved characters involved in ways I would say not a lot of us saw coming. From becoming determined leaders to unsuspecting heroes. Everyone is facing new challenges that are seriously pushing them to their limits. And of course, without a doubt, the acting is top notch. Let's give a shout out to all the cast for keeping us fully invested in this. Especially when we see Anisha. Now all of a sudden, she's with a group of terrorists. How is that going to play out when it goes? And now we see Mitsuki over here working with the Elon Musk of the show. How is that going to play out? And of course, we must talk about the aliens themselves. They are the driving force of this show. In this episode, we get a little more glimpse into what we think that they want for this planet and how they plan on taking over. The CGI work in this show is on point, and I have to say that these extraterrestrial beings continue to be terrifying, and they also fascinate me at the same time. I've got theories, so let's talk about them. When dealing with why Mitsuki is able to communicate with these aliens, I do believe that her lover might not be dead. In fact, I think she was absorbed into this hive mind creature, and that is who is actually communicating with her, because I think now her conscience has merged with this alien beings, and that she is a part of them. And that is why she's able to communicate with her, because this alien now loves her. It has love for her because her lover had love for her, and trusts her because her lover trusts her. I also don't think that these aliens are the ultimate threat in this show. Now, we have seen what I believe to be the tip of the spear, these aliens that can be burnt in this show and being taken out. But I do think that the aliens that are above them, that are controlling them, aren't the bad guys. And they're doing this for a reason, that they're actually being hunted and that they're, in the end, going to have to join forces with the humans to combat an even bigger threat than what we see right now. And there you have it. That is my breakdown on Invasion Season 2, Episode 1. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow sci-fi aficionados. We'll also be doing live streams every week so we can get totally in depth and I can go into more about the theories and everything that I have going on this show. Again, if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.